So now I'm going to move on to what actually works. And I should preface this by saying that what led to these indicators that I'm going to share with you right now was really frustration as an analyst myself and as a consultant myself, because I couldn't find any correlation or a strong enough correlation to utilize any of the indicators that I just mentioned in a way that would help investors and in a way that would help forecast future volume and margin. I started thinking back to my 15 years in the automotive industry and what I experienced with consumers, and the obvious non-starters, you know, as I mentioned before, are, you know, if you're not employed, you're not going to get an auto loan. If your income isn't sufficient, you're not going to get the auto loan. If your credit is bad enough, you're not going to get an auto loan, and that's more specific to new vehicle sales because you can always find a home for somebody with bad credit as it relates to a vehicle if it's old enough and inexpensive enough to offset the higher interest rates. But it's very difficult on a new car sale. The biggest challenge that I always ran into was trade-ins and the level of equity that the consumer had in their vehicle. That was one of the strongest objections that I continuously encountered in the auto industry. So it led me to start digging into, is there any correlation historically to equity and consumer behavior? I should also state that this is extremely important because 87% of new vehicle sales in the US are financed. On average, those vehicles that are purchased new, that have debt attached to them, are traded within 3 years. So we know, based on the average loan term, the majority of folks that are coming back to trade their vehicles have an outstanding balance on their loans. And the relation with the used car value, their specific vehicle, and the principal balance that's owed on that car is what often determines whether they're going to purchase a new vehicle or not. What I've noticed is throughout those transactions, if there was equity in the trade, the likelihood that a consumer would move forward with a new purchase was very high.